New Year!
Happy New Year, everybody!
No lights.
I'm in the Christmas spirit
No
still.
lights. There we go. Hi, Louie. Yeah.
I'm in the Christmas spirit still. It's officially 2025,
Yeah.
but I am in the Christmas spirit because it was Christmas a few days ago and my birthday, and I'm still feeling the waft of Christmas 2024.
Yeah. Yeah. I Christmas is different for me these days. So
Is it?
Yeah, as an adult. For sure.
Well, it's the 25th, and then it's the 27th, and then
It's the first of the month.
it's the first of the month.
Yeah. It's the first of the month.
Oh, what?
It's the first of the month. Grab your what?
Grab your checks and get up.
Get up. You get up. Get up. Get up. Yeah.
Wake up.
Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. Get up. Get up.
Get up. Good job, Lamar. That's the second time he's got our theme music. Welcome to welcome to our YouTube channel. My name is Angela, and this is my husband,
Lamar.
And we are Lamar and Angela. If this is your first time joining us, don't get put off by our silliness.
No.
If this is your first time, welcome.
If you don't have any cheer and laughter and things like that, then you're not living life right. So,
of course,
gotta have fun.
We go live every first of the month, every month, and we're sharing this month a new year. This is a new year, 2025.
Oh yeah.
Golly.
Yeah.
2025. 2024 went by so fast that it's crazy.
Yeah. It went really fast. I mean, it just the last 10 years have gone pretty fast.
Oh my gosh.
Because it's been popping up in my memories. My mom.
Oh.
And
right. It'll be 10 years.
10 years this year
that your mom has been gone.
Yeah.
That's right. That's true. That's true.
Yeah. So I mean, it's just going real fast. It seems like blink of an eye, and we were. Phew,
exactly.
It's just crazy.
Exactly. Can you believe it's actually 2025? I'm still kind of geeking. I'm still stuck in 2024. 2024 was a good year. Would you say it was a good year? We had a lot of adventures. A lot of crazy stuff happened in 2024 too.
Yeah, a lot of adventures. First part of the year, we went to
South Africa. Right.
Yeah.
We went to South Africa. That was fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Had a wonderful time in South Africa.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
And then we went to Portugal.
Yeah, we went to Portugal to celebrate
our friend Halisi's birthday. Yeah, we went to Portugal and spent some time there. Had a great time.
Met some new people. People I had never met before.
Yes, indeed.
New friends.
Added to our friend circle. So if our crew is watching from Portugal, mwah, 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 to you guys. We are Lamar and Angela, expat family from the United States.
Yes.
That decided back in 2022, after the end of the pandemic, actually it was 2021, that we looked around at the aftermath of our life and thought, is this it? Is this all that there is? We get up, we go to work, come home, go to bed. I mean, is this it?
Yeah, we're kind of dating ourselves. That's a Dunkin' Donuts commercial.
Time to make the donuts.
Time to make the donuts. Time to make the donuts. Get up. So and getting up like that, going to work. I enjoyed what I did, but after a while, the commute and all that.
For sure.
It was just too much. So,
we decided.
Yes.
That we wanted to really experience what John 10:10 talks about in the Bible, where it talks about Jesus came to give us life and for us to have life abundantly. What exactly does that mean? What does that look like?
Yes.
So we set out on a quest for us to discover abundant life and have never looked back. And have been doing
Yeah.
pretty abundant, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely, absolutely. It's been a blast. We're coming up on 3 years here in Mexico in July this year, and so yeah. So what are we talking about today?
Yeah. Today we're talking about New Year. Who this?
Who this?
Who this?
Yeah,
Who this? New
yeah.
Year.
New Year resolutions.
Oh yeah, for sure. If you have ever made a New Year's resolution, have you ever made a New Year's resolution?
Rare.
Really?
Rare. I mean, it was not something that was like, I'm going to do X, Y, Z, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to get into shape. I'm going to, no,
You never did the I'm going to get into shape New Year's resolution one?
no,
What?
no. That was something that was, if I had to make a resolution about it,
Mm-hmm.
then I wasn't doing something right. I felt, I mean, I wanted to make sure that I just kept in mind things that I wanted to improve on and do better at, and things like that.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. So for the rest of us who have made New Year's resolutions and failed miserably, I don't think I had a resolution for, yeah, actually, no, I did. I had 3 New Year's resolutions for 2024. One was to keep up my Spanish learning.
Yeah.
And I did that. I
Mhm.
did accomplish that. I have maintained and kept up with my Spanish.
Same here. Same
Um,
here. Yeah.
The other thing was to read my Bible from cover to cover
Okay.
every day. I fell off, and I was doing really good. I was journaling here. I was starting off each day and had my Bible verses and was reading and journaling each and every day
Mhm.
about those verses. I mean, I was like really writing intentionally. Look, I was writing, I don't know if y'all can see, each and every day, writing my notes about the Bible verse that I encountered and just doing some Bible study and all that kind of thing. I kept that up until about September.
Mhm.
I fell off in September because I had to go take care of some family business in the
Right.
States, and that turned out to be a mess, and I got off track.
Yeah.
Or whatever. So that one I didn't quite do, but the other one was to get in better health.
Yeah. And
so we did that.
We did that. We actually found a chiropractor.
Yep.
Because I was definitely having some neck and back pain, and
Mhm.
was interrupting my sleep,
Right.
things like that. So we found a good chiropractor.
Right. Started seeing our
And
chiropractor.
felt
I got a
whole
lot
better.
of the dental work that I had put off for a long time, got
Mhm.
that taken care of and things like that. So yeah, so I
Mhm.
2 out of 3 isn't bad.
No. No. The thing about resolutions for me, I mean, I just stay on my Spanish
Mhm.
because I want to learn it. And I think that we were also looking into Spanish classes at the university. So
For 2025.
2025.
Right.
And so I want to really get my Spanish up to the point where I'm conversational, where I'm able to speak to my friends.
Yes.
And I mean, it's nice that there are some of my friends who speak English.
Mhm.
However, I want to return the favor, as it were.
Right.
I want to be able to speak Spanish and not have that barrier there. I mean, they do okay with English.
Mhm.
I believe that they would be more comfortable speaking Spanish.
Right. So this video, today's live, is all about those goals that we make, that we set for ourselves, that we kind of let fall by the wayside. This year, we're not going to do that anymore.
No.
We are not going to do that anymore. We have turned over a new leaf. This is a new year, new us, new you.
Yep.
New
Mhm.
you. And so this year we're going to do something differently, and we're going to talk about how to make that change, how to go about implementing those things that you actually want to really get accomplished this year. If you have not taken the time would you be so kind to like this video
and subscribe.
and subscribe to our channel? We are found on all other social media platforms as Lamar and Angela. So join us on Instagram and Facebook, and I believe we have a TikTok too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so join us, join the family. We would love for you to continue to be with us, especially in my festive hat. Ding. But anyway, okay, so let's get to it, because I always like to keep us here for just about an hour. We like to be here for a good time, not a long time. And so we want to talk about how to implement those things. First of all, do you have anything that you want to really accomplish besides the language thing, really accomplish in 2025?
Starting my business.
Oh.
Starting my business, getting that started towards the end of 2024. But I want to kick it off, make some contacts,
right,
and get that going so that I can get that rolling this year.
If you didn't know, Lamar is an IT guru. He is a systems analyst with, well, systems an engineer. What do you want to call it?
Systems administrator.
Okay.
But from desktop to servers to
okay, there we go.
Desktop to servers to network connectivity. Here in the house, we had to install a lot of stuff. So that's what my bailiwick is. I've always been not easy. I don't want to say, because some people it's not easy for, but for me, it's always become easy for me.
Oh, for sure. And Lamar is a really good kind of person to wire networks and set up networks, home networks, business networks, things like that, with his defense information systems, government background, top secret background, and all that kind of stuff. Very good. So when we got here to Mexico, and after he's done a lot of work here in our homes, plural.
Yes.
Other people were asking, how did you do that? And it's a no-brainer for that. I see that for you. That's totally you.
So so that this year.
Anything else?
I think that on the recreation side, getting better at my RC racing, and things like that, and also.
But that's not new.
No, but I haven't put as much as I wanted to into it, and I would like to really, focus on some of the things that I'm learning.
Oh, right.
In that aspect, and that's pretty much it. Besides the Spanish, that's about it.
Okay. Well, I got a lot on my plate for this year. Some things that I have decided, and I am pretty firm in making these changes, because some of these things have been on my list for a couple of years now, and I'm tired of seeing them on the list. There are things that I intentionally tried to set out to do that got thwarted from, and then others that I just let other priorities take over and put my priorities to the side. And so that's one of the things that we want to talk about today, is doing just that, making your priorities a priority for 2025, so that you can implement the things that mean the most to you, and that are important to you, so that you can get going on making this life, creating this abundant life that you are looking to.
The one of the things that I know for a fact, that as far as the priority of making our life abundant, or us looking back and going, is this it? Is that I know that God made the nest uncomfortable. So he, for the second time that I know of in my life, that he plucked me out of something.
Yeah, sure.
And so my question to folk out there is, if you're wanting to have a good life, if you want to have a great life, And part of that plan is possibly to leave the United States. What's holding you up?
Mhm.
So you need to make yourself a priority in your life, because life is short.
Yeah, for sure.
It's way too short. So I think that if you're looking at making those plans,
Hmm. Hmm.
put them into play, even if it's a couple of years, downsizing, whatever, getting your finances together,
Hmm. Hmm.
and also picking the place that you want to be.
Oh, for sure. For
Yeah.
sure. But it doesn't even have to be that major, like a life change, like moving to a whole nother
Right.
country.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be that major. It can be just something, the goals, what are the things that really matter to you, the things that are important to you that you would like to happen. If you had to design an ideal life for yourself, something that would really make you happy, excited,
Mhm.
getting up in the morning each and every day is something like yes. What are some of those things that you really would like to accomplish? Or here's a better way to ask it. If you were about to die in 2 weeks, what things would you have on your list that you were like, dang, I never did do that thing, or
Right.
I never did do that, I never did accomplish this, or this was on my bucket list, or this was a goal that I had that I never did do that. What are some of those things? And I think that's where we probably should get started in terms of identifying for 2025 what is our new us.
Right.
you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Yeah. For me, this year, I am going to accomplish the following. Saying it out loud. I am going to finish my book.
Yeah.
I am
Okay.
currently writing a book, turning my dissertation into a actual book for Amazon. I'm going to finish that. I am going to take care of some other health issues. Candy, really?
She's picking at me and she's wanting some attention for some
Candy.
reason.
Really, Candy?
Maybe it's because it's like when we're on the phone and kids want to come up and go, "Hey, mommy."
This is our Candy. Say
Yeah.
hi, Kane.
Say
Say
hi.
hi, Candy. You say hi. No, big
Sh-
spoiled baby.
Yeah.
She's 13. She'll be
Yeah.
14 this year.
Yeah.
My old lady. But that's on my list to finish my book project. I've got a bunch of other little craft projects that I have put off that are in my craft room, waiting for me to accomplish them, waiting for
Mhm.
me to get started, waiting for me to find some time to prioritize that and put that in gear. So I'm going to do that. And I'm also committing myself to really taking care of my body.
Yeah.
That means exercising, that means this menopause thing, that means getting all of the things that keep me healthy. I
Sure.
want to make that a priority this year to really focus on that. And then lastly, the thing that I really want to accomplish this year
Mm.
is, besides I want to finish the the 2 or 3 months of Bible study that I have to wrap up the entire Bible. Um, this year, I really want to read more.
Mm. Yeah.
I really want to read more. A couple years ago, I had this great idea. This was one of my New Year's resolutions that I was going to read a book a month. I sat down, plotted out, and planned each and every book that I wanted to read for the whole 12 months, made a whole schedule of how I was going to read, what books was going to be read and what months got the books. Sent that out to all my friends because I was thinking we could do this like a book club and we could read together and we will come together. And that would give me also some more time to spend with my friends and having this lunch kind of brunch get together to discuss the
Mhm.
book slash, hang out with my girls and this, that, and the other. And right at the beginning of that year, the year went crazy And my friends also didn't, sign up and like really want to participate, or they were busy and things like that. And I just kind of let that go. I don't want to do that anymore.
Yeah.
I really want to commit to reading more. And I need to learn how to put that as a priority. So if you have something, leave that in a comment below, or leave that as one of the in the chat.
Yeah.
Something that you're working on, that you're going to commit to, that you really want to get accomplished this year. I want to, by the end of December 2025, I want to be able to check off those things on my list. Like, this is what I got accomplished this year.
Yeah. I'd like to be close to, if not conversational in Spanish by the end of the year.
Yes, I'm setting the goal of at least B1 or B2, preferably B2, but B1 proficiency.
Yeah.
And right now I'm at A2. So that's not, B1 is not that far of a stretch, but I want to stretch to maybe being B2, which is like a level of being able to easily talk, not easily, but able to hold conversations with people, being able to talk about, more than just, where's the bathroom,
Right.
or things like that, but
Yeah.
actually be able to convey some concepts and things like that.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have that as my, not my New Year's resolution, but the new me.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I really want to, something I wanted to learn long ago, and I started to, and I stopped, with Spanish. And so I really want to get this nailed down, because it's not only because of where we live, but just to have that in my toolbox as far as languages, at least to be able to speak English and Spanish, 2 languages. And then after that, I don't know.
Oh, right.
I don't know if I want to learn another one, but
I would like to learn another one.
Well, you already have French.
I already have French, English, Spanish, and I'd like 1, maybe 2 more.
Portuguese?
No. Sorry, Portugal friends. No, Portuguese is not was not the move. I would like to maybe learn Italian.
Okay.
I would like to learn maybe Italian.
Yeah.
And I also was working on Swahili at one point in time. So I would like to, I would like to consider myself a polyglot, but that's for another time. Right now, we're just going to focus on Spanish.
This squirmy thing is going to get down because
she's heavy.
Yeah, she's heavy.
You're heavy, mama.
Come on.
You're heavy.
Okay, get down.
So how do we do that? How do you create the new you? How new you, who this, who, how do we do that kind of thing?
Right.
I've got some ideas on it, because this is what typically has worked for me in the past. And I'm going to be applying those same principles to this year to make it happen. First off, in order to create that urgency, you got to know your why. Why is this important to you? Why is this something that matters? Why is this a goal that you want to accomplish? Why is this something that you want to create for yourself? Why do I want to do this thing? You got to really understand your why. And understanding your why is so important and so critical, because in those moments where you don't feel like doing it, or in those moments where you don't feel like really getting this thing accomplished, or I don't feel like, or I'm not making much progress, or I don't see the finish line anytime soon, you have to always remember why you're in this in the first place, why this is important to you, why this matters. And also, to go along with that, to imagine the end goal. That's kind of connected to the why. To envision yourself out in the town square, striking up random conversations with Mexican people and speaking Spanish to the point that they don't even know that I'm from the United States, something like that, to be able to imagine your why. And see your why in your mind's eye. That's very important. Anytime that I've had a major goal that I've been trying to accomplish, I've always had to start with my why. when I was starting to fall off, especially when it got hard, I'm thinking of my doctorate and the nights that I would be sitting up and y'all would be asleep and I'm downstairs in front of my computer at 3 o'clock in the morning writing, remember your why.
Yeah.
And that's so important to getting something accomplished for yourself for this year. So let's remember the reason why we're getting started with this thing in the first place, why this is important. And that's probably the first step, I would say. Do you think?
Yeah. It needs to be identified up front. Why am I? Because is it really worth it?
Right.
Is it really worth it? And I feel that Spanish is worth it. It's like a IT certification. You may have a need for an IT certification, and that is the why. I need to get this done in order to elevate my career. So that is important to know exactly why you're doing it,
right,
and what the end goal is, and what you're looking for out of that. For sure.
So focused. The next thing I would say, the way to accomplish the new year who dis path, after you've identified your why, is to really start to identify, well, what are the barriers to me being able to accomplish this thing? Now, this right here, this step right here is so important to getting that thing accomplished, because oftentimes you won't necessarily realize that it's something that's keeping you from accomplishing that goal until it's already happened, or you've already fallen into the bad habit, you've already fallen into the trap, and you're stuck. And how did I wind up there? I thought this was important to me, and next thing you know, it's October 2025, and where did the year go by?
Yeah, I think that it's important also for a visual, like a vision board, to have up something that you see every day.
Right, true.
That you look at and go, okay, this is where I want to be. You have a timeline, or you have, the Spanish, and then where you want to be at the end of the year.
Yeah. Visualization
is important. Now, that's one thing I did do when I had a goal, when I wanted a new car. I put one up in my room on my mirror. I put up a Honda Accord. Yeah. So, and it happened.
Right.
And I set that goal to do that. There are things that I don't know that I'm setting goals for, but I do. And it's a thing about the other part of this is, having self-discipline.
Yeah.
You're going to have to be disciplined, and sometimes life does get in the way.
Yeah.
And life be lifing.
Life be lifing.
Life be lifing. However, to stay focused, having that visualization brings you back to center.
Right.
And, you say, okay, this happened. Okay, I got this fixed. I resolved it. Let me get back on track.
Yeah. For me, I find that I have to identify those barriers. I have ADHD. And for me, it can be extremely difficult to get back to when people come and knock me off my path. I can get up in the morning and be like, okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm popping, I'm pinging. I've got my ideas. I've got some text that I've written in my brain in the last, hour. And I'm like, yeah, let's come upstairs and let's go hit that. And then someone will come along, some kid will come along with whatever their issue is, and boom, knock me right off course.
Sometimes it's me. And I've realized after going on 21 years of marriage that I can't do that. And I have to train myself not to, because being married to someone who has ADHD, I started learning about it, watching videos and things like that. So I have to be mindful of the fact that I can't interrupt her like that, because she has to stay focused. So I'm very mindful of it. And I have to also keep the babies away. When I say babies, fur babies, because we have 2 new puppies this year. So Um, it's just really being mindful of the fact that I can't interrupt her. The only time I interrupt her is when it's breakfast, lunchtime, to make sure she eats,
Yeah, true.
and that kind of thing. Other than that, I try not to bother her with too much of anything.
Good job. But that's true. That's true. There's so many things that can knock you off course, and then you've put it. The next thing you know, you're handling someone else's emergency
Hmm.
or someone else's critical. Oh my God, Mom, I forgot my mama. You know,
Right.
and then you've completely set aside the things that you thought were or you envisioned for yourself to be important. I've done this a trillion times. But I have found that in order for me to get things done and accomplished, I had to make myself a priority. Guess who I learned this from?
Hmm. Who'd you learn this from?
My very own daughter.
Oh, yeah.
My very own daughter taught me this. My oldest daughter taught me this, Vanessa. Shout out to her if she's watching. I taught me this because there would be times that I might call her. Vanessa has, as a part of her morning routine, she's very disciplined about doing her morning meditation, her morning devotionals. She's very intentional about that time and space every morning. Every morning. She doesn't let anything get in between or get in the way, not even her mama. So sometimes I might forget and I'll call and want to tell her or ask her or this about it. And she'll say, Up, mommy, up. I have to call you back because right now I am doing my devotional and spending time, intentional time with God.
Hmm.
Okay. Okay. All right. And
Hmm.
what I'm else will say now. But just seeing her remind me of that modeling is it was so important because I was like, you know what? That is true. I need to make priority and time to get those things accomplished. So one of the things that I did for 2024, I began getting up each morning and I would start my day with my Duolingo, my Bible study, get those things done right away because those were two things that were very important to me. I wanted to get those things done and the rest of my day can begin. I felt like I said, I fell off after I let other priorities, other family priorities
Yeah.
come in the way, get in the
But
way.
they weren't frivolous.
They were not.
They weren't. It wasn't anything for. These things had to be taken care of.
Very true.
And
But I found that I let those other priorities come in and come before me again. So we have to rearrange that
yeah.
and go back to understanding what my why is. Why is this important? I wanted to spend time with God because I really wanted to feel connected again, to feel that connection that I've always felt. I wanted to make sure I have that. And in light of some additional important decisions that were coming up, I needed to be plugged in and tuned in 100%. So for us and for me in particular, that was one of those things that I had to really establish as a priority.
Ray of sunshine.
Ah,
These youngins are built different. Oh, for
man,
sure.
listen.
For
Man, listen.
sure. For sure. We were talking about this the other day. It's it's amazing that I think that there are certain things that have happened in the world
Hmm.
that have changed how kids are.
Yeah, true.
Um, the mere fact that I would come back home and from a physical standpoint, looking like I've been through a war. I fell off my bike, tore myself up, walked out, and my dad bandaged me up. And then the next thing you know, I was back out on my bike. My mom was like, "Where are you going?" I was going back to my bike. She said, "But you're," I mean, I was skinned up, tore up. And so
Yeah.
these kids are different from a physical standpoint, from a resiliency, and I get it.
Hmm.
There are things that are happening in the world today that are just causing them to have anxiety and just nervousness, and and not being sure of what's going on. I mean, and I get it. Uh, and I'm not going to. I'm trying to learn not to
Bash them.
Yeah, because we didn't have that growing up. I mean, I've been anxious about certain things or nervous about things, but not on a regular.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Ray of Sunshine, you're right there. And so I don't know what we can do, but that's a whole thing. I mean, but it does interrupt. It can interrupt your flow when you're trying to get things accomplished.
Yeah.
When you're on a mission, and you have to. And for my wife, having ADHD, it's very difficult. For me, it's not. I can go right back to what I was doing.
Mm-hmm.
So, but that's important to have that quiet time that you talked about that Vanessa has, and that she's putting God first.
It's not even so. It's
the discipline.
the discipline
Yes.
of I'm not going to put this aside. I'm
Right.
going to get this done first. And then this
Sure.
because this is important.
But that's important for her because she also has ADHD. So
Right.
it's important for you guys who are in that situation with ADHD that you have to have a certain amount of routine practices that you put in place. There are certain things that are, I would say, here is my devotional every morning, and then after that things may change, but it's always devotional, doing my Bible reading and things like that, and then move on to, because the rest of the day is going to be, I got to take care of this, you're on your job, somebody asks you this, somebody asks you this, but that helps. I think
for her it definitely does. She definitely needs more routine and a predictable thing, because she's got other things tied into.
Sure.
I do this, I do this, I do that type of thing. Now me, however, that would drive me crazy a little bit to have to like my husband would get up in the morning. Lamar would get up in the morning when he was working for out at Fort Meade, and he would make at night his breakfast for the following morning, for the next morning. And it would always be oatmeal with some apples and some craisins and some. It's the same thing each and every morning. That would drive me crazy.
It worked for me.
That I couldn't do that.
It worked for me, and so it was a routine, but it also kept me on time. It also was just
couldn't do it.
There are sometimes I changed it up.
Couldn't do it. I would never want to see another oat or or meal again, or what have you. But again, that's how I am. And you have to understand how you work and what works for you and what doesn't work for you, and what distracts or gets you off course or just pulls you away from the things that you have deemed important to you. One of the things that I know for a fact that I can't deal with is clutter. I cannot operate in a space that's cluttered. So if I come into a space that has one of my spaces that have things cluttered, I can't even concentrate on anything. And that will keep me from getting done what I need to have done. So for me, it was identifying the things that take me off course, that get me off track, that distract me. Sometimes it's me. Sometimes it's just me being lazy.
Sometimes it's a puppy that keeps tapping your leg.
I'm ignoring her. But again, it's identifying those things that get you off track. For some, it's, if the goal is to become debt free, then going out with your girls after brunch,
right?
Hanging out after brunch is going to be a problem because you're going to want to spend some money,
right,
and all that kind of thing. You just got to know up front what your thing is, and then really be intentional about trying to devise ways to put some spearhead, some blocks in mind. For example, if that was my thing of not being able to, like, oh gosh, I'm about to go out with my girls and I'm trying not to spend money, extra money outside of, brunch, get one of those secured credit cards that only have a certain amount of money on it, a certain limit, or a prepaid card that
Right.
just has a certain amount, and you take that card with you and leave the others at home. You know what I'm saying? So that way you are forced to be disciplined, or leave the cards at home and just carry cash. That's, I mean, but if you have identified being debt free is something that's important to me, and I'm trying to really get out of debt and pay these credit card bills off and stuff like that, those are going to have to be one of the ways that you identify what keeps me from it. Is it I get depressed and decide to want to go shopping and spend some money? Okay, you need to know, oh, I'm feeling kind of anxious and depressed, and I'm looking through
Right.
I'm on Amazon right now.
Right.
You're going to have to identify your why, remembering your why. A vision board is a great method
Yeah.
to keep that in your face. And then put up those blocks that get rid of those, how do I want to call them? Get rid of those barriers to getting the thing accomplished. If you know that working out is your thing and you've joined the gym and all this kind of stuff, and you know that after you get off work, if you have to go home, get your gym bag, and then go back out, it's not going to happen.
Right.
It's not, it's not going to happen. You're not going to go to the gym. You're going to get home, and that couch is going to call you, and you're going to sit down, and then it's a wrap.
Yeah, it'd have to be something where you set it up so that on the way home, you hit the gym and then go home.
Right.
I know that when I would come home after a long day and out driving, when I came in,
it's a wrap.
I'm not going back out unless we had to, unless I came home and need to fix something for dinner and we're missing some ingredient. Then I would leave out to go get that, but I'm not going back out again.
Right.
So yeah.
Right. So the other thing that I remember doing when weight loss was one of my major goals or what have you, I remember having my gym bag in the car, all of the gym equipment, everything that I needed, my tennis shoes and all that kind of stuff in the car, so that I couldn't use that as an excuse.
Right.
Of, oh, I didn't bring, this and other. Oh, or it was, oh, I don't want to mess up my hair. Well, then I went natural. So that I didn't want to have that as an excuse. I tried to get rid of as much as possible every way that I would use to have an excuse. Really, Coco?
She's over here popping me.
These puppies are spoiled.
Yes.
But I started to laugh about the weight loss thing because back in 2006, 2007. It was 2007, February of 2007. I was really overweight at that time, and I had decided, we were at that time expanding our family, and I got a glimpse of my behind in a mirror as I was going into a doctor's office because my knees were hurting, and I saw Aunt Lola's booty. I saw my Aunt Lola's booty looking back at me, and I said, oh, hell no. That was my why right there. That was my why. And from that moment forward, I never looked back. And I remembered my why all throughout it. I decided that I did not want to be the fat mommy at the playground. I didn't want my kids to, because I overheard some children, and children are ruthless. Yeah. They are ruthless. And they refer to this one lady as, oh, well, which one is your mommy? The fat one. And I was like, oh, And that shook. I was shook. I was shook, y'all. Shook. So that was my why, though. Every time I got in the mindset of, oh, I don't want to, or oh, I would love to eat some more cheesecake. It was remember your why, remember the why, remember the why. And so that's what helped me become a new me. I lost the weight and have been able to keep it off since 2007. Since 2007, a lot of weight been able to keep off since 2007. But it was very, I had to be intentional about it, and then and I think I started sneaking back up the up the scale just a little during COVID, during COVID, but ironically we came to here to Mexico and that fell off. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
remembering your why, remembering and getting out of your way the barriers that would keep you from getting that thing accomplished, and then also putting into practice or putting a plan in place for how I want to get this thing accomplished. Sometimes we have goals that we want to accomplish. I want to write a book. I want to get published. How do I do that? God will send people in your path when you really begin to get intentional. Will put people in your path to get
That's one
things
of the
accomplished.
things that stands out for me is that, and celebrity said this, is that when you pray, you ask, you do what you can do, and what is out of your reach, God will
Is
fill
she
in.
asleep?
No, she's trying to go to sleep.
Coco.
So God will do the rest. There are things that are out of your control. There are things that you may not be able to do. You put forth the effort. Faith without works is dead.
Right.
So, I mean, you have to put in the work, and God will fill in the rest. The other part of us, as far as is to hopefully spin up Fig Basket as well here, to be able to, do apparel design and things like that. So that'll be another stream of income for us here.
For sure. But I think for us, when we got intentional, even just about moving here to Mexico, listen, we began the whole process of moving to Mexico. I would say it was around December of 2021.
Yeah.
Right, November of 2021, Thanksgiving, we made the announcement to our family and friends that we were going to be moving to Mexico. And very well, that was Thanksgiving. And December, January, February, we were out by June.
Yeah.
We were out by June.
At the end of June,
We
going into
put the whole thing downsizing, getting rid of lots of our furniture, our
appliances,
downsizing an entire 4,500 square foot home, and moving to Mexico with 3 kids, 2 dogs. I mean, in 6 months.
Yeah,
that's called intentional.
Yeah.
But you've got to remember your why, because I remember when we were in the thick of it. In the thick of it, I had to keep visualizing us on the beach in Cancun. And literally, no joke, literally, that is what got me through some of the hardest times. Just being able to, okay, in 4 more weeks, in 4 more months, 2 more months, 1 more month, 2 more weeks, 10 days, just keeping that in front as a goal and a visualization of this is what is so important to us, and this is what we got to get accomplished. So we're going to press through. Yeah. I had at one point in time on my phone as my screensaver a picture of Cancun, it wasn't Cancun, actually. It was just some beautiful blue water. And so anytime I turned on my phone, I saw that blue water. And that was just kind of like a reminder to this is what we're doing. This is what we're working for.
Right.
This is what we're trying to accomplish. Let's go. Let's get it.
Yeah. It got to the point where I don't know. It was a hard push for me. And I was really like, I'm out. I'm out. I can't do this anymore. I'm
Right.
out. And it was amazing how it all came together.
It did.
From the temporary residency to the downsizing to the estate sale, and then shipping everything that we wanted to bring here, my hobby stuff, your hobby stuff. So we didn't bring any furniture stuff and some family mementos, things
Right.
like that. But it was intentional.
And in the midst of our son breaking his leg, our daughter getting sick and needing to be hospitalized,
It was a lot during that time.
Crazy.
Yeah, it was a lot. So yeah, I think that for someone setting goals, I've never done it. I've never, did or professed a New Year's resolution or anything like that. But you have to have the self-discipline. You have to have something that reminds you every day. There has to be the why.
Mm-hmm.
There has to be an end goal in mind. What is this going to accomplish? And in some instances, well, most instances, is it beneficial? Is it going to make me better some kind of way?
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's increasing your knowledge or making your living better. Stress is a killer and a weight
Very true.
increaser. So I think that part of my weight loss was coming here and less stress.
For sure.
So because I lost almost 25 pounds, coming here, and that wasn't even trying.
It wasn't even trying, and we were eating pastries from the bakery.
Well, the pastries here aren't as sweet though.
That's true, but
They're not
we
as
were
sweet
every day.
every day. Yeah, because it was real close to the house, the first house, so
Our
you could walk
coffee
to
and pastry every day.
Yeah, so you have to be intentional about what you're going to do, as far as anything that's going to better you, make you feel better, whether it's healthcare, changing your diet, things like that. So,
yeah. For me, this year is going to be my year. 2025 is my year to thrive.
This baby's going to sleep.
Yes, she is. This is going to be my year, and I want this to be your year as well. So again, think about what your why is. If you'd like to share, put it in the comments so we can all hold each other accountable and
if you
and cheer each other on.
If you want us to hold you accountable, let us know.
Yeah, let's join let's kind of form our own little accountability group. I've said it out loud, and I've put a date on it. I'm one of those people that I can't have just an idea floating out in outer space of what I want to do. I need a date. I need to put a date on something. When I find that I have a date on something, that I need to have I want something accomplished by a certain amount of time, then it sometimes gives me a little bit more motivation.
Right.
That's the dopamine rush.
Yeah. Well, that's the other thing, learning about ADHD is that people with ADHD do need that rush, and they do get a rush from deadlines. And things like that.
I do some good work in the deadlines.
Yeah, and especially if it's a pressure deadline.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a pressure deadline, and so I don't particularly like that. I don't like that, but I see that you do kind of thrive on that a little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah. So, yeah.
A little bit. But this year, we are committing ourselves to being the new us, the you that you want to become. We are committing ourselves to becoming that new you. So that next year, people are, who this? New year, who this?
Right.
I want that for you. I really, really do. I want that for you, to be able to have those things, or be the thing that you have always wanted to be, or
go to the place that you've wanted to visit, be able to do those things. There are a lot of things in this world that I have not yet seen. Going to Portugal this past year, gave me a little bit of snippet of Europe. And that going to South Africa.
Oh yeah, that was fun.
So being able to visit different places, see different places. And it's no, and I've said this before. I mean, I've told my wife this. One of the things I would like to do is to follow the Formula One calendar for a season.
That is a goal.
And so, and if you don't know, look it up. I mean, I'm a motorsports fan, but they travel to different countries all over the world, and to follow that visit tour, that would be fantastic.
That's fantastic. Let's go. Lego.
Yes.
Let's make that happen.
So, but that would be fantastic. And of course, we'd have to bring this sleepyhead and her brother and their older sister with us. But I mean,
Coco, don't you want to go bed? Don't you want to get in your bed? You got to sleep on Daddy.
She tapped me on the leg.
Oh my goodness. So anyway, let's see. Is there anything else that you want to share?
We've got some videos coming.
Yes, we do.
We've got some videos coming, especially the second House Hunter series.
The second House Hunter series.
And then
we
also
owe you a follow-up on How I Almost Died.
Yes.
Part 2.
Yes. And the blessing that came from that.
Ironically, the video didn't get made or what have you, but because Lamar wanted to do a live, I wanted to just record it. So,
well,
but I wound up having to retell that story again to some other friends at church. And so I'm excited to be able to share that with you. Hopefully that will bless you or someone that you know.
Somebody.
You can send it to someone so that it can bless them too, so that they can understand exactly just how real God is.
Yeah. If I say this all the time, I sit back and watch and then look back and then see and like, oh, that's what you're doing. Because I said this to someone at church. I mean, God will take you all the way around Robin Hood's bar. And you're sitting there going, why are you going that way? But there's a purpose behind it. There is some things there's all things that he knows. All things that he knows. And so we don't see it, but he does.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, he is real.
Yeah. Again, thank you
for
joining us. Thank you for joining our family. If you haven't subscribed, won't you subscribe? Won't you do us a favor? This year we want to hit our actual goal of joining and expanding our family. So give us a like if you have found this content helpful for you, if this has spurred you to make your change to become the new you. Give us a like if you like my hat. You see my hat.
And if you're looking to change things as far as your location, we also have videos in our library on our channel that speak to how to things, things that kind of may get in the way or whatever. But we give ways of getting around those things as far as immigration and things like that.
For sure. And we have some more content coming up this year to give you the updated information about how to move to Mexico, how to get your temporary residency, how to become a permanent resident, how to get your temporary import permit tip permit for your vehicles.
If you drive and bring a vehicle here, we did.
We're going to be getting our driver's license pretty soon.
Yes.
And so we're going to document that whole process of getting a license here in Mexico. And Lamar, like he mentioned earlier, is going to be open to business. So he's going to document all of that.
Yes.
The process of starting a business. How do you start a business here in Mexico? We've got a lot of things that are on the plan for 2025 that I'm excited to bring to you.
Yeah, she is
asleep. Our Coco is asleep. If you think Coco is cute, hit the like button too.
Her brother's on the couch back here.
Oh, right. Yeah. If you see Louis, if you see him back there, you see he's asleep on the couch.
Of course, you saw Candy earlier.
Candy is sitting here.
She's giving us the sad puppy eyes.
Right. So they keep us honest in saying that we're ready to take a nap, or we're ready to eat,
Oh
Or
yeah, you know what? That's why she's doing it. It's past
it's
dinner
past
time.
her dinner time.
Yeah, so that's why she's.
Again, thank you for joining us.
Yes,
It's our first of the month live.
yes, it
We
is.
will be live with you again next month. We might go live again in the middle of this month.
Month.
Maybe it depends on if we're able to get the people that we want to bring
And
with us.
also to give the part 2 of that story.
Oh yes, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
So thank you guys.
Thank you guys.
Thanks for joining us.
Take care.
Say bye. Coco says bye. Bye.
Bye.